Welcome everyone, my name is Pramod Bisal and in this video we are going to discuss about the core jobs versus IT related jobs. So for most of the candidates who have completed their graduation in any core engineering field, especially mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, it becomes very hard for them to choose between a core job and an IT related job. Why? Because they have been studying only core related subjects throughout their graduation. Now they have developed a bond with their core engineering field and it becomes very hard for them to leave something which they studied for 4 years and select something which is totally new for them. It sort of seems unfair to select an IT related job over core engineering job. So in this video, I am going to discuss 7 factors based upon which you can take a decision and you can decide whether you should be choosing a core job or you should be going for an IT related job. Okay. So the very first factor is job availability. Now these days, if we talk about IT firms, then we can see that all of the IT firms are hiring continuously. All IT giants like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant, they have been continuously recruiting for their IT profiles and for their coding related profiles. So for any candidate, it becomes very easy to find a job in IT sector compared to core jobs, not only in on-campus placements, but in off-campus placements also. Now that is about the job availability in IT sector. If we talk about core sector, then any candidate can either go for a private job or they can choose a government job. If we talk about private job, then again the availability of these jobs is quite less through on-campus placements and even rare through off-campus placements. So private jobs are literally very low in core field for any engineering graduate. If we talk about government jobs, then any candidate can either crack EAC exam to become an Ies officer or they can crack GATE exam to get selected in PSUs, Maharatna PSUs, Navratna PSU, Muniratna PSUs, or they can crack the state PSC exams of junior engineer, assistant engineer. They can either go for SSC JEE exam, RRB JEE exam, because there are so many government exams to get selected in government core engineering sector. But the competition in all of these exams is literally very high, especially these days when we keep on hearing that PSUs are getting privatized and in EAC also railways has withdrawn their vacancies and ordnance factory withdrawn their vacancies. So the number of vacancies are reducing, competition is increasing. So the job availability in core sector is very less compared to IT sector. The second factor that we need to discuss about is job requirement or skills required. So in IT sector, it will be better if you have some knowledge of languages like Python, C++, Java, SQL or any other language which is being used in the market these days. Otherwise also, if you do not have any sound knowledge of these languages, then you will be given enough training to understand these languages and then implement them in your daily working routine or your job profile. Okay. But in core sector, since you have been studying all these concepts throughout your engineering, so you already have that knowledge and here you have an added advantage. If your concepts are good, then you can easily crack the competitions like GATE, EAC, SSC or RRB. So it becomes easier for you if you have sound knowledge of your core engineering to get selected in core related job compared to the IT related jobs. Okay. Now the third factor, which is a very important factor, is related to salary and increments. So let's talk about core related jobs and government jobs first. So if you get selected in any Maharatna PSU through GATE or without GATE also, then you can easily get a package of 15 to 20 lakhs per annum. If you get selected in any other PSU, Miniratna or Navratna, then you can get a package of 10 to 15 lakhs quite easily. And if you get selected in any IES profile through EAC, then you can easily get a package of 10 to 12 lakhs per annum. Now, apart from these government jobs, if you get selected in the private job through your on-campus placements, then they usually offer a package of 4 to 7 or 8 lakhs. That is the usual package offered by most of the core companies in campus placements. We are not discussing about companies like ITC or HUL or GSK because they only go to IIT, so there is no meaning of discussing about these companies. In general, private companies offer somewhere between 4 to 7 lakhs per annum. Okay. Now that is about the salary in core sector. If we talk about IT sector, then your initial salary, if you don't know coding, then it would be somewhere between 4 to 5 lakhs only. And if you know coding, then it will be somewhere around 10 to 12 lakhs per annum. And if you are very good in coding, that usually happens in IITs and NITs only, then you can get much higher packages also. But for average candidates and for the people who are watching this video, we can easily assume that your package would be somewhere around 4 to 5 lakhs initially in the IT sector. Now that is only the initial salary that you would be getting, but there is one more factor which is going to impact the money that you get through these jobs, and that is the increments and bonuses. So when we talk about government jobs, the basic increment is 3% in your basic salary. Then there will be some increment in dearness allowance also. So overall, I can say there will be an increment of 5% every year in your government job. And then if you get promoted, then obviously there will be a huge increment compared to this 3%, 4% only. In private jobs, in core companies, you can easily get an increment of around 8 to 10% quite easily. But when we talk about IT sector jobs, the increments are very easily more than 10%. So you will be getting very good increments in your IT sector, especially if you switch your companies from one company to another company, then there will be automatically an increment of 20%. So the increments are much higher in IT sector as compared to the core jobs, especially if you are switching. Now, if you switch in private jobs also in these core companies, then also you can get a good increment. But again, the job availability is less. So the switching will not be that frequent compared to IT related jobs. So salary wise, I can say that IT jobs will give you much more salary after 10 or 15 years compared to your core jobs or private or government jobs. Now, the fourth factor that we need to take into account is job profile, or the work that needs to be done in core and in IT. So when we talk about core jobs, your job will mainly be supervisory in nature. You will have to either manage the production or you will have to manage the people. So the scope of improvement, scope of innovations are comparatively less in your core related profiles. They are sort of fixed in nature, and you can easily go onto the shop floor. You can either sit in your office and simply monitor the people who are working under you. But in IT sector, your job will mainly be done through the laptop or through the desktop. So throughout the day, you will be staring on the screen. You will be looking at a screen and doing your calculations or doing your coding thing or anything that you are given by your boss or your manager. And the physical activities are very less in IT sector jobs. Also, because you will have to work on projects, so you will have to keep yourself updated. You will have to know the latest things which are coming in IT sector. And since this market is developing very fast and there are so many new things every day, so you will have to keep yourself updated. You will have to learn everything on daily basis. So learning is much more in IT sector. You will have to continuously develop yourself. The volatility of job is much high in IT sector compared to that of the core job. Okay. Now the fifth factor that we need to discuss is job security, which is again a very major and very important factor. So when we talk about core jobs and especially government ones, we can say that the security is almost 100%. People are very rarely thrown out of their jobs. It doesn't matter how poor their performance is. It doesn't matter if they are able to achieve their targets or not. Very rarely they will be thrown out of their job. At max, their payment will be reduced. Okay. So that is what happens in government jobs. But when we talk about private jobs, then also the job security is better than IT sector jobs. Okay. So in IT sector, since these jobs are totally market driven, so if there is a demand, then they will continuously be giving you increments, they will be raising your salary continuously. But when there comes a recession or when the demand is low in the market, then they will simply throw you out of the job. Okay. So the volatility is very high in IT sector. The security is very less in IT sector. Also, you will have to keep yourself updated. If you become outdated and if your knowledge is not up to date, then also you will be thrown out of your job. Okay. So that is a very important factor that you need to consider before deciding between core and an IT sector related job. Now the sixth factor is job pressure, or the work culture that we get to see in core jobs and in IT sector. So we know that in core jobs, especially in government jobs, the pressure is very low. You can easily achieve your targets and you can easily balance your work and life. You get to enjoy your life outside your work and you will not face much psychological torture in government jobs. In private jobs also, I can say that the stability or the pressure is comparatively less than the IT sector jobs, because your tasks are sort of fixed and the production that you need to do is almost fixed. So they will not worry much about the things that you are doing, and the pressure will be less. There will be some pressure of the production or of the quality, but it will be less compared to IT sector. Now, when we talk about IT sector, it is usually said that the work culture is toxic in nature. Now, it depends on company to company, but in general, you will have to work very hard. You will have to work late nights also, late hours also, especially if you get a job which runs in shifts. When you work in the shifts of America or Australia or any foreign country, then it becomes a little bit hectic for you, because you will have to manage a different time slot, and your work-life balance is not as good as compared to the core related jobs. So that is what you get to see in culture wise and in job pressure wise in core and IT sector. Now, the last factor and the most important one is your interest. Where do you want to go? Which type of job do you want to do in your life? If you want to go to a core sector because you have been studying that throughout your engineering and now you want to apply your knowledge into real life, you really want to be the engineer that you were meant to be, then you should definitely go for your core job. Otherwise, if you are interested in coding, then you can definitely choose IT jobs also. Now, especially for the people who are afraid of the competition in government exams, especially GATE and ESE exams, and because of this competition, they leave this core sector aside and they choose IT sector because that is easily available, and they kill their interest. So that should not happen, in my opinion. Because see, everything matters, right? These factors that we have discussed till now, everything matters. But if you are more interested in PSU jobs or in IES related job, then you should give yourself one chance to try to crack these competitions first. Because even if you do not get a IT sector related job in your own campus placement, then also the market is booming these days, and there will definitely be much more opportunities off campus also. So if you give 1 year or 2 years to crack GATE or to crack ESE, and if you do not get selected there, then also you will have a chance to join the IT sector. So there is nothing wrong in trying to go for GATE and ESE jobs if you are really interested in them. Okay. But on the other hand, if you join any IT sector now, then it will be very difficult for you to come back to the studies and prepare again for GATE and ESE. Okay. And even after joining any PSU, even after joining IES profiles, then again you will be having a chance to come back to IT sector, because that is always open for you. Even if I want to go to IT sector, then definitely I can go there, right? So if you are really interested in core engineering, if you're interested in PSUs or IES, then you should definitely give yourself at least one chance to crack those exams. Otherwise, IT sector is definitely better than the core sector. Okay. So I hope this video was informative for you, and now you can decide based upon these factors and based upon your own requirements and your own interest. And thank you for watching the video, and good luck for your placements or for the GATE exam, ESE exam, or whatever that you want to do in your life. Thank you for watching the video, and have a happy and healthy life. Thank you.